This is Rais by Gore Williams, and you're watching the Chat with Chaps live show.
Good evening and welcome to the Chat with Chaps live show. I'm your host, Joe Zampa, and tonight we've got a fantastic show planned for you. We've even got a special guest, the TikTok sensation, the content maker, Callum Fowler. I'm not sure if you guys watch him or follow him, but he certainly knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. He'll be on around at 7:30 this evening. Guys, just want to say, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. As you know, everything we make for this channel goes to Cancer Research UK, so you can do your bit just by liking and subscribing. Our personal best is 307 likes, which is incredible. We then got around about 260, and I think the last week it went down about 228 likes. We're actually going backwards rather than going forward. So please, guys, make sure you hit the like button. It helps with the algorithms, etc. Special thank you to Spectrum VR, who you can see on our screen there, who is sponsoring us and supporting us to sponsor us for the season. So a special thank you to those guys. And I want to introduce my co-host this evening. So first of all, the Danish destroyer, Jesper Demgaard. How you doing, Jesper? You good?
I'm really, really good, especially after Saturday. Thank you, Joe. Really pleased, and it should be fun, this one, I guess.
Fantastic. How's new car doing, all right?
Yeah, it's good. I haven't broken down yet, so all good.
Good stuff. All helps. You're still within the guarantee period, I'm sure. And next up, the Millwall Walking Encyclopedia. It's one and only Stato. Steve, how you doing, Stato?
Yeah, very good, very good. Hopefully this is another good one. Not to give a little bit of a spoiler, but Ben and I did our January review. We recorded it the other day, so that should be out this week. And we're saying just what a brilliant time to be a Millwall fan. It's just absolutely first class at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And guys, make sure you watch that when it comes out and it gets released. And then last, certainly not least, the one, the only Disco Steve. How you doing, Disco?
Evening, Joe. Evening, gents. Yeah, I'm really, really good. I can't hear. You got some music going? I can't hear it. I can't hear it, Joe. You're the only one. I can't hear that music.
You can't hear it.
Can you guys hear music?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
Joe's just bopping along.
I can't. I'll pretend I can.
The listeners can. That's what matters.
I'll pretend I can, but I can't hear the music. I feel like a product placement because I'm sat here over the side, not so you can see my newly decorated bedroom. It's because I think we're going to put some things up on the bottom, aren't we, for people to read. So, but no, evening, Joe. Great to be on. Looking forward to a good show.
Good to have you on, and we will come back to you guys in a second. So first of all, let's look at who's in the room at the moment. So first through the door is Cole Bracey. Hope you're well, Cole. Hope you're good. Alex, hope you're well, mate. Friend of the show, the legend, John FC. Fantastic, mate. Thank you so much for the kind donation. Moneybags, Neil, Super Lions too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Another friend of the show, Jeff Chandler. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Craig, good to see you. Ayop Cox. You're giving it away there, ain't you, Craig? He'll be joining us shortly. Max, good to see you. Husey, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Andrew, good to see you. Jeff, good to see you as well. Leslie, hope you're well, mate. Dave, good to see you as well. Mark Lindsay, hope you're good. Good to see you. Anthony, hope you're well. Born free, die free. Andrew Roberts. Morgan, good to see you. Rob Morgan. The Awful Gambler, hope you're well, Dan. Hope all's good. Alec, good to see you. GC London, good to see you. Hope you're well. Lions Raw. Mark Murphy, yes, I think we've got that one. George, good to see you as well. Ben, good to see you. Lee, good to see you. The lovely Bex, hope you're well, Bex. Roger, good to see you as well. And also the Chat with Chaps. I can hear it loud and clear. Go on, see? Chaps can hear your music. That's your intro music. We can hear the moves. There you go. All good. All good. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to take the comments off the screen and you will see it appearing now on the top right-hand corner. Hence the reason why this goes over. No, you're fine where you were.
Oh, right, let me that.
Yeah. You're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So look, guys, Saturday, great away day. Luckily, I went to, it's one of those away games you go to. You think, you know what? It could turn out really badly and you'd be kicking yourself for going. I did it when I went to Birmingham away. We lost 4-0. It was the worst away game you could ever go to. But there's no substitute for not being there. And I'm so glad I went there with my son, Luke. And it was a great away day, you know, great win, 2-0, and coming back from Wales with the 3 points, which is brilliant. So start with yourself first, Stato. What did you make of our performance at the racecourse ground?
Rearguard action, I think, is the best way to describe it. I think we probably know that we wasn't at our best. Wrexham I don't want to say they're similar to us, but they try to build momentum, didn't they, at home? They try to really kind of get on top of teams and put pressure on. And to be fair to them, they did put us under a bit of pressure at times. And we, Max and the guys at the back had to stand firm. And when we had our moments of quality, we took our chances. And it's a fantastic 3 points. If you go away from home, the first objective is to not lose. And then if you can go on and win it, then absolutely brilliant. And that's what we've done. And there'll be a lot of teams that would have looked at that result, and if they hadn't already, which there are lots of fans that are taking notice of us at the minute, but they're really starting to pay attention now. And we're test after test, we're sort of passing with flying colours. So overall, not at our best, but we got the job done, and that's the main thing.
Cheers, Stato. Come to you next, Disco. I guess what Stato alluded to there, perhaps it wasn't our finest performance, but we come away with the 3 points. What was your take on it? Was it a professional, gritty performance? Sometimes a bit of luck involved.
I think first and foremost, Joe, you have to say it was a statement result, wasn't it? That was a real, yet another informed team on a high. Difficult to play at home, haven't not scored at home all season. Kiefer Moore up front, who's guaranteed to score against us every time he plays, but I thought we marshalled him absolutely brilliantly. And I have to say, Joe, I watched the game back last night. I watched it on the iPad on Saturday. Unfortunately, couldn't go, wouldn't have got a ticket anyway, but watched it on the iPad. Wasn't the best of connections and what have you, but first half, I thought I was really getting frustrated because I thought our final ball was terrible, and we were doing okay, but you just create that chance, whereas they looked a little bit more dangerous. But I watched it back in bed last night, and I fell asleep at the start of the second half, so I've got to catch up the rest tonight. Not because it was boring.
Is it that bad?
No, it was midnight by then, and an old man like me needs his beauty sleep. But I tell you, we were a lot better than I gave us credit for again, because you're wrapped up in the game and you're emotionally involved and you're nervous that every time they come forward, maybe they'll score. Actually, look, that missing final pass was missing, but we actually acquitted ourselves quite well first half. And it was a very tight game, wasn't it? Cancelling each other out, basically. But overall, very professional performance. And overall, in my mind, deserved result, clinical finishing or creation of goals, certainly. And what a result, statement result that really starts to make you believe not only playoffs, but is there a sneaky outside chance of straight up? It wouldn't be impossible.
Cheers, Disco. Jesper, come to yourself next. Obviously, Disco, is saying that it is a big statement. We're playing against a team that's also challenged us for a playoff place at the moment, who are in good form as well. What did you make of our performance, and do you think we deserved the 3 points, in your opinion?
I think the funny thing is that I can't remember who posted the stats in the group after the game, with Wrexham having sort of 16 shots and we having 6 and 1 on target and so on. And if you look at that isolated, no, we didn't deserve to win. But I don't think that was similar to the eye test, because as Disco just said, I thought we were better than people maybe give us credit for. I thought we were very solid at the back. Apart from Cabore's effort in the first half, which was great save from Max, I don't think we want a huge amount of pressure. They did have a small, I think they had 10-15 minutes second half where we sort of under the cosh, but we wrote that. And after that, I thought we were solid. And you also have to seek your own luck, and we did that with the goal. I have to say, Ivanovic has to score there, if I'm being completely honest. But luckily, it hits Cleworth and it goes in, and we're 1-0 up. And it gives us the perfect platform, I guess, away from home to sort of sit back and then counter, which we then did for the second goal as well. So I think really, really strong performance. As Disco said, a statement result. It was quite similar to going into the Watford game, who were also probably, team of, who was the most informed team back then. We went there had a great result, played a really good game, quite similar to this one. They had their tails up, had scored in every single home game, and we come there, we nullified them more or less, and we got away with a 2-0 victory. Really, really good result, and yeah, really, really exciting. 15 games remaining. It's like, where does it go? Do we get into the playoffs? Do we go straight up? There are a lot of points to play for, and there will be twists and turns before the end of the season. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, and 6 points behind second place at the moment. There's every chance, isn't there? We can go and do so. I mean, I think Phil Clark mentioned on our WhatsApp group, had we beaten Coventry, we'd be on equal points at the moment, because that 6 point jump would have certainly would have brought us into a much stronger position at the moment. Did you feel, Disco, that was there any kind of player performance that stood out for you? Who you say was your top 3 performers, if you were to pick any 3 out in particular?
Good question, Joe. Look, much as I have been not a critic, but certainly a supporter of a new keeper coming in, and I'm very happy to get Patterson on side, but I have to give Max credit. I thought, again, he didn't really do anything wrong. He did flap it across. He came out for second half, and I think it was 0-0 then, so that could have been a bit of a disaster. And that's the problem with him. He seems to have something like that in his locker. But great save early doors, as you say, from Kabore. Look, that goes in. It's a whole different ball game, that match. So great save, and great how he got it, tipped it around. He could have parried that out, but it tipped out around the post for a corner. He then made a good couple of saves. Actually, a really good hard shot at him again that I'd expect him to save. But I thought his best save, you may or may not remember, was when he came out to Kiefer Moore with his feet. And
we got a goal kick, didn't we, out of it as well?
It's brilliant. Well, the ref wanted to give a bloody caller, unbelievably, and Max on commentary was going bananas, and rightly so. But look, that was his best save for me, because that's easily potentially a penalty. So I have to say, Max has to be up there in terms of contributing to us winning the game. Max Crocombe for me, definitely. And then I thought, quite honestly, the 2 centre halves were just absolutely immense. I thought Jake, yet again, I think it's been talked about in the recently. I think, Stephen, you mentioned your month review, and I think you mentioned Jake Cooper, you and Ben in there, and talk about a bit of an unsung hero. And he is coming into his own right now. He's an absolute rock at the back. And didn't he have a right old ding-dong battle with Kiefer Moore? And it was lovely to see him come out on top. And Kiefer Moore bloodied and badgered and moaning his arse off, even though it was all self-inflicted by him, because he kept coming in from the side instead of trying to go up fairly. So Jake, brilliant. And look, the guy who's just getting better and better week in, week out, Caleb Taylor. So for me, 3 defenders. I know we won 2-0, but for me, those 3, the keeper and the 2 centre halves, outstanding, as well as other players. But they're the 3 stand out, Joe.
Brilliant. Cheers for that, Disco. Thanks, mate. And Jesper, come to yourself. Who are your standout players who you want to give honourable mentions to?
Do I need to be after Disco every time? Because I'm just going to sit here and repeat myself. But do
you agree with Disco? Is there anyone else you want to give mention to?
There is one other I want to give credit to, but I want to say the centre backs as well, and the way we defended the box on Saturday was phenomenal, and not just on Saturday.
You know what I love? Sorry to interrupt you there, Jess, but what I love was Alex Neil. He talked about like his team talks to the players, and what I loved, he said, if you heard this, he told Coops and Taylor just to beat up their striker a little bit, meaning Kiefer Moore. So they kind of had that in their mindset, didn't they? They're going to rough them up. They're going to be aggressive. And did they do that? They did really well, didn't they? And he certainly didn't get it better from did he, Jesper?
Yeah, and if they didn't, then he would have, because we know Kiefer Moore, he's a handful, and he has been a thorn in our side before. So we know what to expect. But I think on Saturday, I think they won the battle in the defence. So full credit to Caleb, full credit to Coops. I thought they were immense. And I also thought, again, Camille Negley, his work rate, I think nowadays is phenomenal. He had an opportunity first half where he sort of, I don't know if anyone recalls this. This is from the 90s, where Redondo, he did Henningberg on the sideline with a sort of a backflip, and then he goes round the player, and then he crosses it to. Anyway, that was a different game, but he tried something similar, and it almost came off. And what goal that could have been if he if he hadn't slipped on the, I thought it was on the touchline, he slipped and it went out for a goal kick. But I thought he was really good and in general, a good team performance. But I think I want to single out those three as individuals and probably in contention for my man of the match, at least.
Nice one. Cheers, Jesper. Just come to yourself, Stato. Is there any players you want to give honorable mentions to? Do you agree with what the guy said? Is there anyone else we kind of missed out on that you feel that needs a mention as well, in your opinion?
No, I think pretty much agree with the guys. Again, without giving too much away, what I've spoke about, obviously on another show that's coming out, that Alfie Doherty, Tristan Kramer, and Caleb Taylor, rightfully so, are getting a lot of plaudits this year. They've been, since Taylor's come in, he's been excellent. Doherty, the last 6, 7, 8 games has been absolutely superb. Kramer up there for player of the season. And the one player that doesn't get the mentions is the last remaining defender, and that's Jake Cooper. We've been lucky, and his fitness record is a testament to him. But that guy, I always go back to the day at Portsmouth away, was when Cooper was suspended, and we looked in absolute shambles at the back. They didn't know what they were doing. Okay, the lineup, you can talk about all different things, but the one big thing is that Jake Cooper wasn't there, and I thought he was excellent on Saturday. Taylor, again, he's, I've been singing his praise for ages now, but Jake Cooper is a special player. I put it on Twitter. I think Dan Marsh was doing a little piece on him, and I would go as far as to say that Coops is probably our most important player. Now, he's not our best player. He's not a world beater, and he's not going to probably do something that's going to turn a game on its head. But he's so important to Taylor next to him, to Doherty the other side. He's our leader, and I think it's right that he's captain, and we're on a special season here, and I really hope that it leads to something, and Coops gets to be the man to lead us to it, because I think he is an unsung hero. We all know he's got a mistake in him, but what player? You tell me a player in the EFL that doesn't have a mistake in them, and I don't think you'll be able to find. I don't think you'll be able to find any. So I'd give him a shout out, and I also thought a little bit, one that went a little bit under the radar that hasn't, I don't think it's been mentioned, is Casper De Norre. I think Casper De Norre is again, we speak highly of Casper on the show, but if you watch him, he just does the simple things and keeps us ticking over time and time again. And the pass for the first goal, the ball over the top to Aziz. Bannan aside, maybe Doherty, but Casper knows where Femi's going to be. He's got the ability and the nous to go, right, I'm going to put that right into his path, and he's going to run onto it and get us up the pitch. I think Casper De Norre deserves a little bit of a shout out as well, because he's very, very underrated too at times.
I agree. and I do feel, to add to that, I don't think he's quite 100% fit either at the moment. And I think the reason why, Billy's playing really well at the moment, you can see Billy's very, very fit. He's played quite a number of games. So at the moment, Billy's fitness has probably taken the shine off Casper a little bit, because he looks far superior as in running around the pitch, covering a lot more grass. But give it another, 1 or 2 games, I'm sure Casper will probably catch him up, and together there'd be a real force there. Jesper, I want to come to you with regards to the decision made for Alex Neil to start Max Crocombe in goal, so Anthony Patterson. Obviously, Anthony Patterson was a big loan signing for us. We believe that they're paying quite a heavy chunk of his wages to secure his services. But he starts him on the bench. Was you surprised or shocked by that? Or was it the right decision in your opinion?
I think shocked would be a big word to use. Maybe a bit surprised, because I did think we would bring him in to be a number one. Even though we did mention, me and Chris on the segment we did with Watson and Patterson, that they haven't played any minutes of football. But I would still say there's a difference being a winger, having played 0 minutes, and then being a goalkeeper, even though you can be a bit rusty. What surprised me a little bit was Alex Neil's comments about not starting Patterson, in terms of that he's used to rolling out the ball at Sunderland, the way that they want to set up, the way they play out from the back, etc., where we do a lot more kicking. We're a bit like, well, surely he does some kicking and training as well, that to stay fit as a goalkeeper. So I don't know if I'm buying that, but that's what he said. And I can't really figure out how to bet in a goalkeeper versus like Tommy Watson, who you can play 20 minutes, 30 minutes, one half, a full 90 minutes, etc. So I'm not sure how he's going to do it. But we said it so many times. Right now, it's for Max to lose his shirt because I don't think he's done much wrong. Are you going to upset a back four as well, who knows who they have behind them, and suddenly throw in a new goalkeeper with the risk of, how are these sort of connections and how do they, connect with one another? It's a big risk, I have to say. And I'm not, singling out Patterson being a goalkeeper or a bad goalkeeper. It's just, I think the last place you want to sort of tingle with things is your back four. Once you have a settled back four, you want to play those players, as often as you can, with the same goalkeeper behind you. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out, and I'm not sure when he's going to come into contention. To be honest, that's going to be my answer. I really don't know, John.
Mm-hmm. Well, he certainly, didn't do himself any harm. His performance, did he? I mean, he made some great saves, and he looked very, very assured in goal. Before we come over to yourself, Stato, just a very quick mention to you guys in the chat and the guys watching this back. So a young lad called Charlie, you might have seen us talk about him in the past. He is doing another charity event. We mentioned this previously, didn't we? In the past, he's climbed, the Free Peaks Challenge. He's raised lots of money in the past. This time, he is doing something else. You can see his screen there. He is trying to raise lots of money for Chat with Chaps for Cancer Research UK, and also Lions Community Food Hub as well, by sitting on every single seat in the den. That's 20,146 of them, and he's chosen our two charities to donate the money to, which is fantastic. If you can see there, this is what he's raised so far. It's £871, which is brilliant. He's gone past his target. Hopefully, he'll raise some more money. Some nice donations come through there as well. So if you would like to donate to him, we're going to give you his link for you guys to donate. And I believe he's going to do it over a period of 2 days, because there's so many seats to sort of do. He can't do it in one outing. It's got to be over a couple of days. So I will put that in there. If you want to copy and paste it and donate to that, that'd be really kind of you, and we really do appreciate it. Stato, coming to yourself next, mate, with regards to the situation with Max Crocombe starting ahead of Patterson. Was you surprised by that, or can you understand the reason behind that decision?
Just before I answer that, Alex put a comment in the chat about how many points have we lost from winning positions, and his comment about I believe it's only twice that's happened: Oxford away and Derby away, where we took the lead, and obviously they come back to draw. So I just wanted to come back to Alex on that. I think he's right there. The decision, go back to Saturday, the decision with Max Crocombe. You bring a goalkeeper in from a Premier League club on loan. You expect there's some kind of clause, or there's a loan fee or something that would suggest that Patterson is going to play. I don't know for sure. I don't know what the terms of the deal is. You just expected. I think everyone just expected him to play. I am a bit of a believer in consistency. I think Jesper hit the nail on the head of the back four. Are settled now. They're used to their goalkeeper behind them. I said it about Cooper. You find me a goalkeeper in the Football League from the top of the Premier League right to the bottom of League Two that hasn't made a mistake this year. I doubt there is one. And I think Max Crocombe deserves to stay. He deserved his opportunity to play. I think it was a confidence boost for him to play in front of Patterson on Saturday. Just a couple of bits that I was looking at. I think Richard Cooley stole my thunder earlier because I was putting this together, and he put a tweet out about it. But he's the top goalkeeper in the Championship for saves per 90 minutes, and he's also got he's number one in the save percentage. So whilst that might mean that he might be facing a few more shots than other goalkeepers, which I don't think is true. We don't concede loads and loads of chances, but he is impacting games, and he is keeping the ball out of the net. I get the argument that he come for the cross on Saturday, and Patterson's probably sat on the bench eager to play, but I don't know who it was. It might have been Chris, but all it does to me is Max Crocombe has to be perfect. Now we all know that nobody's perfect, apart from you, Joe. Of course, you're a prolific bagsman for the podcast,
but he doesn't like to talk about it.
No, unless you really insist, then I will show you. But yeah,
nobody's perfect, and I think that all the while he's performing like this, the number one shirt should stay with him. If he comes out and makes a mistake, or if he costs us a game or something, you've got the ready-made replacement to come in, and it's an easy change at that point. But for now, I just think Crocom's got to play. The save that Steve referenced as well, the Kiefer Moore one, to come out and smother that was excellent. And obviously, the ref wanted to give a corner or whatever, but he kept us in the game. And I just think sometimes he gets a little bit of a hard deal, Max, because of his career and where he's come from. And I keep saying it, he wants to make it to the World Cup. He wants to be in that New Zealand squad. And I tell you what, I'd like to know who the other goalkeepers are in their squad. If anyone knows that, or I might look it up. But because I tell you, I don't know how many of them will be playing at a better level and be having a better season than him. I really don't.
Great comments there, Stato, as well, and thank you just for earlier as well. Disco, are you in agreement that maybe this is his position to lose at the moment? I mean, obviously Patterson coming in, fantastic loan signing, but obviously Max at the moment hasn't put a foot wrong, Max Crocombe, and therefore is it a question of you keep playing until you mess up and then Patterson comes in?
Well, just to mix it up a bit, I don't agree he hasn't made any mistakes. He's not been disastrous, and he's not a Bender in disguise. Stephen Bender, that is. But he's been decent, hasn't he? Max is a good keeper, and I think he is excelling, playing out of his skin for us right now. Look, I've just said up there as one of the men of the match on Saturday. I was in the camp of bringing in a better level keeper if we could, and we've done that. And then when we do that, to not start them does raise a few questions. I guess the balance is, I think Jesper said it, he's not played many games, Patterson, so I understand probably not going straight in. I get, you're right, Stephen, it's what Chris said in his post-match, where it now puts both of them on their toes that they have to be match perfect to play. But I'm not sure that's a brilliant situation to be in. Yes, it can really make people play to a high level, but it can put you under extreme pressure that possibly isn't needed, especially at goalkeeper level. So, look, I think Alex has got a real tough decision now because, look, ordinarily, he'd bung him in for a cup game or something, wouldn't he? And then that would be maybe his excuse. He comes in, plays really well, keeps him in. Now, we're out the cup, but there's no other cup games. Does he stick him in Saturday? Then you're all going to be saying, well, hang on, Max was brilliant. How'd you drop him? But where does that leave Patterson? So, look, I trust Alex impeccably, whatever the word is. But look, I think it's a real tough decision, and we've almost created a little bit of not an issue, but a bit of a challenge. And look, the goalkeeper is something you want settled, really. But look, I've said from day one, I would have brought another keeper in, and I'm happy with him coming in, and I'd be happy for Patterson to go in. But I'm more than happy for Max to keep his position right now, but he has to produce as he has been doing. So, look, the only winner, hopefully, is the team.
Brilliant. Cheers. Sorry, Jesper, we've got our special guest waiting in the green room at the moment. So I'm gonna bring him out before he sods off, gets bored waiting. Guys, you guys watching? I mentioned he's coming on later. I'm sure you've seen his stuff on YouTube and TikTok. I'm gonna share one of his last TikTok videos, just give you an idea of what he sort of talks about, what he's like. So here you go, just a little something for you.
Rage, some might say. So yesterday I was quivering with rage, some might say, and I didn't see a lot of other stuff that had happened, so I've missed it until this morning. But Ipswich put a club record bid on table to Millwall for Femi Aziz. Now, Roman Esse went to Crystal Palace for 12.5 mil reported. Apparently, this is about £15 million that they've put down for Millwall's star boy, really, out wide. It's been unreal so far this season. And Millwall have gone, you have got to have some plums to reject that, man. You have got to have massive corners. I know Millwall are currently fifth. They look like they've got 1 foot in playoffs anyway. That top five has sort of pulled away. And Millwall are clearly going for it. To reject the club record bid anyway when they're in a very good position, but to strengthen like they have in the last couple of days, for a squad that I didn't even think needed that much strengthening, really, they've been lucky with injuries so far. They have had a blinding window. They brought 3 really good players in. Obviously, young Baz to come off bench, good squad depth. They brought Patterson in on loan from Sunderland. That is cracking. That's a definite starter that's going straight into the team. And Tommy Watson as well. What a signing! Oh my! So the wingers now are Tommy Watson and Aziz, who's been valued at about 50 million quid. You've got Ivanovic stood up front. You've got Billy Mitchell and Denor at middle at part with Baston and bench. You've got arguably the best defence in the division, definitely one of them, and now one of the best keepers as well. A very good squad, a great manager. We've got all my set well for playoffs. I don't be sleeping on Millwall. These are taking it serious this season. Mill.
So look, guys, let's bring him out. This guy, what he doesn't know about Millwall ain't worth knowing. I'm sure he's a closet Millwall fan. It's the one and only Callum Fowler. How you doing, Callum? You good?
All right, mate. You all right, boys?
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Good to have you on. It's been a long time coming. I know I've asked you a few times to come, but you're a busy man, Callum, and I do appreciate you coming on. How are you? You good?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. I mean, I don't like watching my own videos back, so that would cringe watching that. I'm coming.
Well, we like watch them anyway.
I'm coming into this raging, mate. Unfortunately, I'm a Barnsley fan, and we've had his game called off half an hour before it started against Stephen.
Oh, you're joking.
What's that, weather? Because of the weather?
Because of rain?
Rain.
It's the second time in 3 years that we've had the Stevenage away called off an hour before. They did it to us before.
Unbelievable.
I was going to say, it's got to be down there because Barnsley, you playing also. I remember going to an awful game at Barnsley where it was the worst conditions in the wintry snow I've ever experienced and freezing
We're still
cold.
playing it pits up here. That's why.
Callum, obviously, I know you ain't got long to be with us, so I want to try and rush this as much as I can to get as much out of you in that 15 minutes. You're charged us by the minute, you at the moment, so we want to make sure I get our money.
Sure, don't give me that. People think I'm doing that.
No, I'm joking. Look, just want to get your thoughts, firstly, on our transfer dealings this last month, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you feel is our hopes of promotion. So, first of all, what do you make of the signings? Good signings? Do you think that the signings we kind of needed, in your opinion?
I really like them. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I don't like Baz because of Wednesday connection, but I can admit that he's a very good player, especially now that he plays for your. Like I said in that vid that you've just shown, I don't think your squad is one that needs a lot doing to it. You look at some other ones that are in and around it, like Bristol City and Preston and Derby and even Hull. I think they needed a lot more work than you did. But Millwall have been unlucky with injuries, haven't you, really? I think that's the only...
You're right, yeah.
Downside that you really had, which is something that you can't really control. And you're up in 5th. I can't even remember a game that you've had your proper starting 11 fit for. I really, really like the signings. You just had an odd bit of quality that you needed, I guess, in little areas. I like the Watson one. I really like Watson.
Yeah, I like it. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest with you, Tommy Watson, but from what I have seen of him in the past, he looks like a real threat. He's got all the attributes you need, isn't you, for that kind of inside left-sided winger, isn't you? You know? Yeah,
100%. But Negley dropped at bench weight, and you'd think.
I don't know. Quite possibly. I think that's the position that he's occupying at the moment. What's interesting is Bannan started against Wrexham on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was there watching the game live. And Bannan went into number 10 role, which I'm a little bit unsure about because I do like him playing a more deeper role. And they kind of switched Negley onto the left. But you're absolutely right. If they're going to play Bannan all the time, then one's got to lose out. And it ain't going to be Femi. It isn't going to be Billy. It isn't going to be Casper Denora. So you like to think it probably would be Negley. What do you make of the kind of Patterson goalkeeper signing? I mean, Max Crocombe, we signed him on a free, and I think he was playing for, was it Burton, lads?
Yeah, I think so.
Up until recently. So it's a massive jump up. He was signed as our third choice keeper, but he's now taking like the number 1 spot, isn't he?
Well, I was just listening to you then for like 15 minutes before I've come on, and you talked about Bender, didn't you? I've been calling for that one, yeah. I've been calling for saying I'm not very keen of Bender. That didn't go down very well. But yeah,
not like Disco. Disco Steve loves a Bender, don't you?
I like a big unit. I like a big unit between the sticks.
Between the sticks is what he likes. Yeah. All these innuendos, Go on.
I'm curious to know that you think that Crocombe might stay in. I wouldn't have thought that Sunderland had loaned him out without Millwall saying, well, he's definitely going to play. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But then at the same time, like you're rightfully saying, your defence is very good anyway. You've barely conceded any compared to some other sides. And if Crocombe's doing well, then you're not going to drop somebody, are you? I don't know if it's going to be like waiting for a mistake almost to shove him in.
It is though, Callum. I think when Alex Neil sort of talked about selecting Max Crocombe, he more or less said that he hasn't put a foot wrong. I think he's still up there as one of the highest stats for clean sheets this season in the Championship. Apart from it could be the Middlesbrough keeper, I can't remember who it was now. But it does seem like it's his place to lose, isn't it? And I guess you're going to be selected and play until you make a mistake, really. But it just seems strange to me, doesn't it, Callum, how Sunderland and how Patterson could be happy with that. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that Sunderland. Surely he must have had some other suitors because he's not going to get back in at Sunderland, is he now? So he must have had some other teams sort of looking at him. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm surely Millwall have said to me he's going to play.
Yeah, and also I know you're not a massive fan of old Bazza, Barry Bannan, but you can't deny, he's a good player. He's very creative. At 36 years of age, he's very, very fit as well. One thing I noticed is that, and for me, it felt like in that number 10 role on Saturday, he just seemed isolated, didn't get the ball much. And what's interesting, we've got a young player called Raees Bangura Williams, not sure if you've heard of him, who played that number 10 role for a good 6 or 7 games. And the fans were giving him a little bit of a hard time, saying, look, he's not performing, he's not delivering. But again, he played in the 10. But the way Alex Neil plays at number 10 isn't like how most big championship teams will play it. The number 10, it's all about what you do off the ball rather than what you do on the ball. So they start the press. They're not getting on the ball. And a Millwall style is play the ball wide to likes of Femi and the wingers and get crosses in. So it just seemed, I felt in the first half, Bannan was kind of missing. You see him getting a little bit animated and throwing his arms back, demanding the ball. And what he did was he put himself to sort of play a little bit deeper and get on the ball, but you're then playing with like a midfield 3, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
what do you make of that?
Well, for Wednesday, I didn't, because his passing range is obviously ridiculous. He's a very good, technically gifted footballer, and despite his age, he's not going to do a lot of running. We don't really need to with players that he's got around him for Millwall. But he's like, I'm more curious because he is very good. I'm curious what's going to happen with Coburn. Is because wasn't he brought in really to facilitate Ivanovic? Were he not sort of playing that role?
Well, that's it. So towards the end of last season, we went for that big run. We were always playing a 4-4-2 formation, quite direct, up and at him. We had Ivanovic and Coburn, and it worked really well. If anything, having Coburn alongside Ivanovic allowed Ivanovic to score more goals because he was playing a little bit more on the shoulder. Whereas now we're kind of playing this kind of 4-5-1 formation, if you want to call it that. But normally the number 10 will then push up high along the strikers. It becomes a 4-4-2 when you have the ball. Now, Coburn has done that. I think Langstaff's done that in recent weeks as well. But I just don't know if Bannan is that kind of presence to sort of play that role.
No, he's not going to press, is he, Baz?
No, exactly.
You're not going to see him. But it's going to be hard for other team to sort of pick up. If he's your 10, if he's like on paper your 10, one of your furthest forward like that, no one's going to know where to mark him. If he's coming and dropping next to like Denora or Mitchell, whoever the other one is, it's going to be hard for teams to sort of pick him up.
Exactly.
He's a good player.
Yeah, and also just moving on from our transfers to where we are positioned at the moment. I mean, you called it at the beginning of the season, and I would put your video up, but I don't want to waste any more of your time. But you said right at the start of the season, listen, guys, Millwall are dark horses, you said, and no one's looking at them at the moment, and they are a top 6 contender. And you called it right. What was it that made you think that at the time? Why did you kind of almost project them as being potentially a top 6 team? And where do you see us sitting at the moment? Are they in the right position? Are they punching, or you think that we're deserving where we are at the moment?
I don't think you're punching at all. I think you could be. I honestly, I know you don't want to get too carried away, and obviously I'm speaking to loads of Millwall fans. I'm not trying to glaze you out here, but I won't write you off a top 2 at all. I really won't.
Wow.
The thing is, you've been like, since you've come up, especially the last few years, you had one like poor year, didn't you? Where Edwards or somebody that took over.
Yes, Joe Edwards.
That
England.
Right. Yeah. And Neil Harris coming, didn't he? That were it. But every other year almost, you've been between like 7th and 12th. This is, from outside, this is best squad you've had by an absolute mile in that time. Your squad depth's really, really good. I really like Alex Neil as well. You've got stability where other teams aren't. It's just everything's sort of going in the right direction for Millwall. I think anyway. And it don't look a great strong league before it started anyway. Apart from like Ipswich, I weren't really looking at anybody and fancying them over someone like you.
Yeah. And you made an excellent point on your YouTube channel recently as well, where you sort of mentioned, look, if Millwall were in the playoffs, they're the team that everyone wants to avoid because you're playing those kind of cup final. Yes, it's 3 games, but every game's a cup final, isn't it? You're playing a series of games, and Millwall are going to be quite direct. We're going to be physical. We're going to be hard to beat, hard to concede. So that gives a good chance. But as a Millwall fan, I can't talk on behalf of you guys sitting there, but for me, I want to get an automatic. If we get that second spot, I just don't think I can take the heartache of going through the playoffs and end up losing. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that.
I'll try. I'd rather not think about that right now, Joe. Let's get there first.
Joe, if someone had told you before the season we would get into the top 6, you would not have said no.
Yeah.
So obviously,
No,
I would
right.
take the playoffs any day, and I would say our record over the past, the last, I think 4 times we've been in the playoffs. We've gone to the final every single time. So, we got a good record. I don't fear anyone inside the top 6. They're good teams, obviously, but I don't fear anyone. Like last season, you had your Burnley, your Sheffield United, your Leeds, who were probably a level above the rest. I don't see it this season. Not even Coventry. They had a fantastic start to the season, but you also see them being humans now. So it's all about who's in form and where your teams are coming May. So really fancy us this year if we can get in.
And your results, especially like recently, you've had a tough run last couple of months, haven't you? You've got a point against Ipswich. You bet Bristol City. Bet Swansea are in good form. You went to I watched the Coventry game. You went to Coventry and gave them
we're
a
very
game.
unlucky with Coventry.
Yeah,
we deserved
played
to
well
out
there.
of that. Yeah,
Wrexham, that might be a playoff game. You've just gone there and won.
Yeah,
Bet
that's right.
Watford away.
Yeah.
Like your form's good against good sides, and all. I would not want to be playing your.
Yeah, interesting, Callum. We seem to sort of struggle more against the lower end teams, the teams that sort of play with low block. We seem to struggle to, I guess, open them apart and create many chances.
Yeah.
But on a counter attack, we're very strong with Femi Aziz and whatnot. But with Barry Bannan, you don't know. Maybe he's the player to unlock those defences. Stato, what's your thoughts, mate? Just want to get some final things from you before Callum leaves us.
I think if you offer me 6th place right now, I'll snap your hand off and take it. Look, the autos would be brilliant. We all, you don't have to worry about the playoffs. But like Jesper said, if you'd have offered us top 6 at the start of the season, you'd have snapped the hand off and you'd take it. And I agree with what we all said and Callum, that I can't imagine there'll be many supporters in the Championship that if their team made it in the playoffs and they've got to play us over 2 legs, I think every single one will be thinking, not Millwall. We don't want to go. And another thing with that is if we do manage to get into 3rd or 4th and we have the 2nd leg at the Den, it's a daunting fixture. And I know we talk about it. It's our own team. We are gonna hype it up a little bit, but we've been there before when Huddersfield come in the League One days and they absolutely lost their bottle and we overran them. We've beat Leeds in the playoffs when we were considered underdogs, at home. I just think. If we put together a run that gets us in automatic, then Alex Neil deserves a lifetime contract, a statue, name the ground after him, do whatever you want, because I think it'd be a little bit too much of an arse. But hold the form, get in the playoffs, and I think if we make the playoffs, we get to Wembley. Don't want to tempt fate from that point, but we get to Wembley and we have a shot.
Yeah, just that.
Joe,
Callum,
can I just say sorry? Look, for me, it's really refreshing to hear somebody like Callum, who is a genuine neutral, if you like, who's calling it out.
Well, he's a closet Millwall fan, but
Right. But no, look, the reality, you've called it right there, Callum. We've been there or thereabouts the last few seasons. We've got a better squad than we've had ever by a country mile, and the best manager we've had for years by a country mile. Why wouldn't that be a recipe for success? And it's proving it right now. And look, really refreshing to hear somebody else say it, because we all get wrapped up in it and get really enthusiastic, but also very nervous. You always feel glass half empty, all that. But we've got a great chance this year.
I just think if Ipswich can get in that top 2, if you could sort of swap Ipswich for Coventry and get Ipswich and Middlesbrough out of the way, I'd fancy you. I really would.
It's just, honestly, I love what you're saying, and I really do hope. But there is a chance, and I think also it's just consistency, isn't it, Callum? You've got to keep grinding out these wins. And we talked about Saturday. We didn't play particularly well. We had 1 shot on target, 1 was an own goal, and 1 was a great strike from Coburn. But they're the games you've got to win. We played fantastic against Charlton, we played fantastic against Watford. But it's the games where you don't play well and you come away with the 3 points is what makes a good, successful team that might get out of this division, hopefully.
In games like that, though, against someone like Wrexham, we've got a good squad, doing 6. You're not going to be able to play that well, are you? It's two good sides going up against each other.
Yeah. And did you mention it, Callum? I can't remember if it was you, I'm getting confused, someone else, who mentioned what was the reasoning behind playing Kiefer Moore and playing that direct football against arguably one of the best teams at direct football. Likes of Cooper and Callum Taylor just soaked that pressure and they battered Kiefer Moore. Not many defenders do that to him, but he kept a bloody nose, and he was he was all over the place, weren't he?
There's still I think there's still a perception though outside of Millwall that people look at Millwall and just think that you are a team of bruisers and that you're just old school. It's going to be horrible. You're going to be in for a fate. You're obviously not just that anymore. You can still play that way if you want to, and that's why I think Wrexham went wrong, even trying to play you at your own game, because you're obviously still better at that than everybody. But you all can play football now as well. And I feel like a lot of other fans don't get credit for that. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of there's that stigma attached to us. You listen to pre-match interviews with other managers, and they said the same thing every single week.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not Millwall light. They're going to be hard to sort of break down. They're going to be very, very rough, very aggressive, and in your face. And we're not like that all the time. Yeah, we can play that way, like you say, but we have got some footballing players. We've got some players that can actually kick the ball around and keep possession of DB.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just thinking from my perspective, we're going into playoffs. Obviously, we got in there like 5 years ago, whatever it was now. And the three teams that were in it were like Brentford and Bournemouth, who were much better sides than us. But then there was Swansea as well. And we knew, me and all my mates sort of knew, that playing Swansea, they had a very good manager at the time, Cooper manager. They're like Mark Gerhead. They had one of the best defences in the league. I look at you and think that you're that sort of team. This time, I think your defense is top draw. I would not want to be playing against you. If we were if we were to sneak in there for whatever reason, if I supported someone that could, I'd be trying to avoid you. Yeah,
that's a good point. I'm hoping that will be the case come it comes round. Callum, 10 years ago, on the 29th of May, 2016, this May, it marked a 10-year anniversary. Can you tell me what it's for?
It must have been us beating you, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. So Barnsley beating us 3-1 in the final. Was you there? I don't know how old you were being at the time, but
I was 16. Yeah. The reason I like Millwall is because one of my best mates is a Millwall fan. He's come up from London when he was a kid. So he lives in Barnes. He's a Millwall fan. We got to that Papa John's final a few months before. He come down with us. He were in Barnsley and for that. And then for that game where you were in other end, we met up with him after.
Oh, no. Brilliant. I always wondered, because I remember watching a video of yours years ago, and I think it was you and your missus. I believe it was your missus, or it could be your sister. I apologise. But you were talking about it was your missus. Okay,
but you can't just
not like that in Barnsley.
No. But you were talking through the teams, and you got to Millwall. And even she says, you like Mill, don't you? You're like, yeah. Mill. And I think you just got that kind of, I love that coming out of you, that kind of, that passion that you sort of show when you talk about us,
I look out for Millwall all the time.
Yeah. We won't be looking out for him anymore after he just confused his missus for his sister. We've done it now.
Well, I didn't want to say, I made a mistake once before.
So you don't like Bender as well?
I remember once, I think I mentioned it too, there's a boxer called Callum Smith. You know the old Smith brothers, the boxers? And I'm sure his name was, is it Callum, the younger brother? He done really, really well. And I met him once. I said to him, I met you with your missus. And he's like, that's my sister. And I thought, oh God. So I got one completely the wrong way around. So I didn't want to mess up this time with Callum either. So
but they're Wednesday fans, them. I'm sure they are.
They might be. Yeah, exactly. So during that final, you had two young loanees playing for you, didn't you? Josh Brownhill and Ivan Toney, didn't you? Who you had from loan from, I think it was from Newcastle. Tony played for Newcastle at the time. I'm not sure where Brownhill was now, but they went off. To sort of bigger and better things in the Premier League. But you had a really good squad though, didn't you? A really good team. I remember Hamill was scoring for you all the time. I think he scored against us on the day, didn't he, from memory?
Oh, yeah, he scored a screamer, Hamill.
Yeah, he did.
But we had some really good players at that time, like Urian as well, who were still there
right.
then. Win all up front. He were top draw. Yeah, we had what defender? I think we had Alfie Mawson, went to Fulham after.
I remember him.
We had a good team. We probably underachieved, to be fair, because we were bottom at Christmas that year. Then we ended up getting into playoffs later on. That's when we were serious. We had a proper owner then.
Yeah. I mean,
wasn't
we didn't have
Wasn't it Ashley Fletcher that was up front?
Yes.
He scored it.
What happened to him? I loved him. When he was younger, he was really...
Is it Blackpool?
He's at Blackpool now. He was on loan at us, and then he was from Man United at the time. I think West Ham bought him from our loan.
He's been everywhere, isn't he? Watford, everywhere. He's one of them, never quite... did it after
that. Though. He's doing all right for Blackpool now.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's 30. He's knocking on a bit. But
He's getting on a bit, I was going to say. I keep thinking this young
He's
kid.
on ill
but
now,
he's not, is
30.
he?
You're
Yeah.
very ageist, Callum. Can you rein it in when he's going on that age? Bloody hell.
Disco's 70, would you believe it? Good for his age, isn't he?
70.
No, you're mature man. My hell. And I'm not Joe's brother either.
No. My older brother. But look, I mean, obviously, I really do appreciate you coming on, Callum. I'd love to have you on all night if you're able to, but I know you're busy and you've got bigger and better things to do. But please do come on again if you don't mind. I'd love to get you back on.
100%.
You're
Mate,
free
honestly.
one evening. We usually go live every Tuesday from 7 o'clock till 8:30. So if you can do it, I'll always message you. And you know, if you can, it'd be great
Mate,
to
you
have on,
relegate
mate.
Wednesday on Saturday. I'll come on every week for the rest of the year.
I don't
Is
know
that
if
your main
mathematically
rivals, Callum?
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday and Leeds, you're middle of both for them.
Yeah.
They're sort of in between, aren't they? Yeah.
Sorry,
Leeds
Wednesday and
are-
who? Wednesday and
Wednesday and Leeds.
Oh, Leeds, right. Yeah.
Does Bradford get into a bit of a much or not really?
Bradford, there's like Bradford, Huddersfield, and Leeds. They're all west. We're in middle a little bit. We're classed as
Rotherham.
south, but we're,
Rotherham.
yeah,
are the-
Rotherham and Donny's other side with Wednesday, then Sheffield
Yeah.
United, then boys.
Who's the D-Dars?
Wednesday and Sheffield United.
Oh, right.
The
Brilliant. What is a D-Dal? What does that mean?
It's how they pronounce words. They sign stuff off with D and Dar instead of you and me.
You know why? He's showing off, Callum, because this guy actually lives in Bolton. So he moved up because he found a little bit of fluff when he was a young youngster. And ended up marrying her.
No,
End
it's
up
my sister,
marrying her.
Joe. What are you on about?
Oh, it's your sister. Sorry. End up marrying her. That was it. We ain't seen him since. He ain't come back down since. Have you? Been up north ever since.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the Pennines, Callum.
Oh, we went there on Saturday and lost like normal.
Oh yes. Yeah, because you got Bradshaw now.
Yeah, got Bradshaw on loan. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course he went to yard, didn't he?
How did he do?
Yeah.
You were okay, but we've got him and McGoldrick up front, and we haven't got any other strikers in club. So
Bloody, it's like me and Joe being up front.
Alex asked, Callum, have you seen my goal yet at the Den?
Oh, dear.
no idea who he is, mate. Sorry.
No. My goal. So basically, I scored at the Den.
What about him? I don't know who that guy is.
I scored at the Den. It's a funny joke, and I don't like showing it quite often, but a lot of the
Is it one that this comes up every live, doesn't it?
well,
Yeah.
they want to show it, and I guess while you're here.
I don't know if walking football's a thing anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's only because Callum wanted to see it. I had to, he didn't know what I was on about, so I had to show him what I meant. That's why I did it for, But
Comments have gone into meltdown now. Bloody hell.
Brilliant. Listen, Callum, I'm gonna let you go, mate. But lovely for you to come on this evening. Wish you all the best with Barnsley. Keep doing your content. Love your content, mate. And guys in the chat, if you watch at the moment, please make sure you follow Callum. He's on YouTube. He's on TikTok as well. So this is his Twitter account. So it's _Callum Fowler. Make sure you follow him. And also I've got his I don't know if you see that. It's
promo. Good lad.
It's at Fowler _EFL. Is that right?
Yeah.
73,000 followers.
Bloody
Look at that.
hell.
My
Jesus.
God. You know why? He does OnlyFans, Disco. That's why.
Oh, right.
So
I might have seen him then.
60,000 of them are that's where he gets his bender from, exactly. But Callum, you're a legend, mate. Thanks for coming on, and we wish you all the best. Hopefully we'll see you soon. You keep in touch.
Yeah, nice one. Thank you. Cheers, boys. Nice meeting you all.
Cheers, Callum.
Likewise.
All the best, mate.
How good is that, eh?
Good guy.
Good. So where were we? Anyway, back to old Bazza. What did you make of what I mentioned there about him playing at number 10 role? He looked very, very quiet. He was very frustrated. Obviously, I was watching him live, and you could see him coming short to receive the ball. He wasn't getting it, and you could see him throwing his hands, at them a couple of times. Start with yourself, Disco. What do you make of that? Is there a role there for him? Do we need to change the formation to suit him now? And what's your thoughts?
For me, the answer to that question is yes, Joe. And I think clearly Alex sees it because he chose to put him in that position on Saturday. I think we've said for a while now, haven't we? We don't really play a system for a traditional, creative, attacking 10. But maybe that's what Alex wants to change to. And a really good point you said before I fell asleep last night watching the second half of the replay. There was a few times in the first half where Bannan was in great positions, totally on his own in space, calling for the ball, and Billy or Casper decided to swivel and pass it either square or back or whatever. That's right. And that's because that's the way we play. So I think they'll have to work on it on the training field. But if they can get it right, there were times there where they could have played it into Bannan. He was totally unmarked, so he had all that space, and you just know what he's going to do creatively wise from there. But the other thing as well, I think what they've got to get used to as well with him is, I don't think he minds if he's got a player within, even a player up his arse effectively. You know, he's happy to take the ball, isn't he? He's comfortable.
In tight areas,
take the ball and lay it off. So, look, I think it's something we'll work on. A few people have asked, will he play Saturday? A part of me, he should, because we want to build something. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, you know. I know I'm being a bit wokey with that, but it just don't feel right for him to play, or in his mind. I know he's got to be professional and all that stuff, but is it right? And I think we can afford for him maybe not to play, but let's not get carried away. Look, going back to your question, yes, I think it's a role he can play. I'm like you, prefer him a bit deeper, but I think he can play there. We're going to have to work on it. And there were little snippets Saturday. He came deeper second half as well to get involved, which isn't a problem as well. He can mix it up a bit to find space. But I imagine that was a sign from Alex that that's where he feels he can play a role and will be productive for us.
Interesting. Cheers, Disco. Jesper, just to get your thoughts on Bazza. I know it's only one game that he started. I know he come on off the bench the previous game, but I don't know. Just for me, I just feel we're not utilising him well enough if we were going to play him in that 10. As Callum said, you know, you look at someone to press in that number 10 position. He's not really that guy, is he? He can do it, but he's not really the guy. And yeah, to Disco's point, when he did drop in, he did look a lot better. He looked more comfortable with the ball. He was dictating. He played a couple of beautiful little passes. One beautiful ball into Ivanovic, which unfortunately Ivanovic couldn't quite control. But just the weight of that pass, it's something that perhaps, you know, Casper or Billy Mitchell wouldn't necessarily see. But Bannan sort of did it, you know, with one of his first sort of touches, I guess. You know, how do you see it with the player, or how do you see it working?
I can almost only repeat what Disco said in terms of how we play, and I've said it before as well. We play down the flanks. That's how we set up. That's how we always play. And I think we have always been a bit hesitant to play through the middle. I think most teams we play against, and we do it ourselves, always try to congest the center of the pitch, which will allow the wingers to get a bit more space. But as games opens up as well, you will also see sometimes that midfielders and defenders will take chances and maybe try and anticipate passes because they know they're going to go either to the left or they're going to go either to the right. And that's where Bannan can pick up spaces in between these sort of, you know, midfield and defense areas. But I think the real challenge is for our two holding midfielders to spot these passes and not be afraid to play him, as Steve said, or Disco, you know, even if he has a man in his back, you know, give it to him because he will see something before he gets the ball. So he already knows what's going to happen once he receives it and then get into a new position. So it's all about a confidence thing from the midfielder saying, I know he's marked, but I also know if I'm going to play him, he's not going to lose the ball. Or at least not, 9 out of 10 times he's not going to lose the ball. So it's a mentality thing I think you should work on the pitch as well. And it's not just about Bannan. You know, this could be RBW as well. These players who play in the number 10, they need to be able to control the ball. They need to be able to see things and not lose the ball if they are playing, even if they have a man, on their back. This is the only way you can play in this position because you will never get like 2 or 3 yards. It's as simple. It's always very congested. But sometimes you might find that yard or two when the game opens up a little bit, and that's where Bannan can make a big difference. So I get why he's frustrated, or maybe why he was frustrated on Saturday, but we also have to recognize this was his first start for Millwall. So, they need to get to know each other, the midfielders and so on. So I hope we will improve there, because we are really, really good on the sides, but I think we can improve if we use the middle sometimes as well.
Cheers, that Jesper. And Stato, I just want to get your thoughts. It just didn't feel it was clicking on Saturday. Unfortunately, we've got a very creative player there playing that 10 role, and it just didn't seem like it was quite right. I don't know whether you saw something in it, whether you can see the areas of improvement, or what Alex Neil might have to tinker a little bit. I mean, he mentioned Alex Neil many times that he's not stuck on one formation. He's happy to mix it up and change formation and change systems and tactics. But how do you see a system working that incorporates Barry Bannan, Casper De Norre, and Billy Mitchell all in the same team?
Honestly, I don't. I don't think the three of them can play together unless Casper's in the 10. But I don't think Casper's going to play in the 10 because of how good he's been playing in his position.
Can I ask one more question? Sorry, to add to that point you're just saying there. Have we had a number 10 play well yet? Have we had anyone play number 10 and be very successful yet so far?
No,
your opinion?
Not really. Negley has showed signs of it.
I agree.
I think.
But what has he done differently, Negley, to almost convince us that maybe he done a good enough job there?
I think the work rate is one thing, but on that, something that's been missed, I don't know if it's been mentioned, I don't think it has. There was one incident where they had a corner and Barry Bannan sprinted 90 yards to chase the midfielder, the defender, the goalkeeper. And it reminded me of a few years ago, and this is going off on a tangent a bit. We played Ipswich a couple of seasons ago at Ipswich, and Brooke Norton-Cuffey sprinted 90 yards. It was midweek. We were 3-0 down at half time, and he sprinted the length of the pitch in the 90th minute as a lone player, and it just showed that there was somebody that cared. I'm not saying that the players don't care at the moment, far from it. But Bannan did something similar. He sprinted up to put pressure on it, resulted in the goalkeeper knocking it long. I think we won the knockdown and recycled the ball. So I don't think he's afraid to put himself about a bit and get running around the pitch. Can he do it for a prolonged period of time like Negley, like Langstaff? Probably not. He's 36. We all know his limitations. But I don't think you can write him off to say that he's not going to press and he's not going to try and do his bit for the team. But I just think there's this tag with him because his name is Barry Bannan. I don't know if people have expected him to come in and be a world beater or create chance after chance. We don't do that generally anyway. So it's not like he's coming into a side that creates a bundle of chances. Yes, we've got better. Yes, we've obviously improved this season. But I think he's brought in for a little bit of leadership, a little bit of experience. He's the sort of signing that comes in that we were missing with, letting Sav and Hutch and Honeyman, those kind of players have gone. And there's someone that's come in. There you go. Someone's picked up on it there. It's because it's Barry Bannan. Alex Neil has got fed up with talking about him. I know there was a bit of a debate in the WhatsApp group. We keep talking about him. We keep, what do people really expect from him? Because for me, the one that's coming in that there is expectation on to create chances and score goals is probably Tommy Watson, because he's a winger. He is brought in to create chances and run at defenders. Bannon's been brought in to dictate play. A game like Saturday, okay, Sheffield Wednesday, his old team, it might not be the best example. Perhaps Portsmouth the week after is a better one to target. But they're not going to. Portsmouth are not going to come to the Den, in my opinion, and play attacking football. They're going to try and nick a goal. They're going to frustrate us. That's when you'll see the best of Barry Bannan, when he can dictate play and create chances and pick a pass out that maybe some of our other players can't.
But to your point, though, Stato, to your point there, though, for Portsmouth, for example, do you then sacrifice loser Billy Mitchell, loser Casper, in order to have a bit more creativity in that deep playing midfield role?
I think you could. I think if you go to Ipswich away, you might want to have the two midfielders, the workhorses, the ones that are going to throw themselves around and put tackles in. But we've got a run of fixtures now where, okay, Birmingham aside, they're in quite good form, but we're playing the likes of Blackburn, Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday. They're not going to come out and play expansive football. They're scrappy. Obviously, Wednesday's a bit different. They're at the bottom of the league, and we all know that they're going to get relegated. And I'll come on to whether I think Bannan should play, but they're the games you might see the best of Bannan, and I think that you pick and choose. It's horses for courses, isn't it? You pick the team that you think is best to win a game of football, and the team that's best to win a game of football at Middlesbrough and Ipswich away is different to Portsmouth at home, and that's why you build a squad. Callum come on as a neutral and turned around, and one of the first things he said was, our squad depth is unbelievable. We look at it and go, we're a striker short, we're this short, we need this, we need that, but people outside are going, look at you, and so we can change our team to dictate what we do. There's comments about Negley. Negley's got to play for me. I don't think you can. He has to be playing at the moment. He's in such good form, and his work rate. He has to play. Fast forward to Saturday. Do I think Barry Bannan should play? I was asked this on Twitter. But we've been talking about it in the chat. He's a Millwall player. We pay his wages, and if Alex Neil wants to play a certain way that incorporates Barry Bannan's technical ability and his passing ability, he plays.
I agree.
If Alex Neil, for whatever reason, thinks he's not the right person, then fine, we'll accept that. But it has to be. It's not Barry Bannan coming and saying, he can't turn around for me and say, I'm not playing on Saturday. That's absolutely horrendous. It's Neil's decision, and if he wants to play, he gets out there and plays. He'll get his standing ovation. He'll get taken off. They'll take him off after an hour and change it, whatever the scoreline is, however the game's going. He's a Millwall player.
I think he might feel uncomfortable, Stephen, but I don't think he would refuse to play or say, I don't want to play. You know what I mean? He's a pro, isn't he?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? If he's going to play against Sheffield Wednesday, now is the time. They're on -7.
Yeah,
nothing he does on Saturday against them is going to save them or anything. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference.
They have to win every single game, isn't they? I think all the teams
and hope.
Leicester can't win or get a point, can they?
I mean, Leicester are already 2-0 up tonight against Southampton.
Unbelievable.
So it's just he's got to play for me. And look, if he scores, we know he's not going to celebrate. Got no issue with that. If he if he gets an assist, he's not going to celebrate. Got no issue with that. Get the game out of the way. And I said it before. Sheffield Wednesday knew this fixture was coming. Alex Neil knew this fixture was coming, and Barry Bannan knew this fixture was coming. So, what more can you do? It's professional football. Get on with it, in my opinion, and play the game.
Good point. Cheers for that, Stato.
It's your job.
It's your job. It's his job.
Apparently, that sounded American last week, so sorry.
It did. That was more Canadian this week.
Sorry to Ben.
You're getting there. This comment here from B Lion. He says that Smallbone did all right in the 10, and there's rumours that he's going to be back soon, hopefully next sort of month or so. So again, that's another good problem to have, isn't it? Because I agree with B Lion. I think that Smallbone out of everyone probably done the best in that number 10 role. I know it was only a short stint he had there, but he seemed to do that role very well. He gave us the presence, he gave us the physicality, didn't he? He gave us the skill, the off the ball work as well. Maybe that might dictate where Bannan plays, because I think if he's back and he's back fit again, maybe we're back to what Stato said. We have to rotate the likes of Casper, Billy, and Bazza. What do you think of that?
Look, agree, Joe. I think we've said before, I think Smallbone was the best option in the 10 role that we've seen and probably have. But look, I'm not laying any hope on Smallbone right now. Look, luckily we've got enough squad to allow him to get fit and match fit and all that, and maybe if it is beginning of March, middle March, whatever. I mean, look, I still feel it's been a very disappointing loan with the injuries. But look, it depends what we want to do. I think if we persevere with Bannan, much as I like him in a deeper role, and I'm with you, Stephen, there might be games where we do sacrifice Billy or Casper and drop him deeper for the right impact. But I think if we persevere with this 10 role, the players will get used to it, and he could play a very, very important role for us, Bannan. Look, he's quality, but you're right. Look, it's not like we got Jarzinho or someone in the we've signed, and that's probably what's frustrating Alex a little bit. Look, very good player, great addition to the squad, but he's not like the second coming, is he? You know, so but look, he's got a role to play, and he's a good signing for us.
Disco, can you just elaborate who Jairzinho is to the listeners?
Anyone that's under the age of 55.
Am I going back that far? Oh, dear. Callum will know.
Yeah, of course. Jesper, just
very
want to get
famous
your
Brazilian player back in the day.
very good player. Jesper, I know he's only for a short stint. What did you make of Tommy Watson coming on? And is he a player who you feel could be our answer on that left-hand side from the short moments you saw of him?
I was very intrigued to see how he was as a player, but I thought, considering he hasn't played any minutes this season, I thought he looked quite sharp actually when he came on. You know, he looked quick on his feet. He was quite secure with the ball, didn't give it away, kept it simple, but also looked dangerous in moments. So I think he could be a really, really positive loan signing here for the last 15 games. So yeah, but he needs minutes. He needs to be built up as well. He'll probably not start on Saturday again. I think it'll be at least 2 or 3 games before he'd probably start a game, which is fair enough. We don't want him to break down, you know, going into the last part of the season. But definitely an exciting talent. And again, not to dig the kid out, but I think it's an improvement from what we sold in Aidomo Emakhu as well. So yeah, positive to see him on the pitch was really good. And I thought 25 promising minutes from the kid.
Yeah, cheers for that, Jesper. And Stato, just will get your thoughts on Tommy Watson. What did you make of his start? Also, we got the option of playing Negley there. We've got Ballard playing there as well. It's very hard to sort of say at this stage, isn't it, whether he's going to be the preference out of those 3 options, I guess. But from what you saw of him, what did you make of him?
Yeah, again, I think he's one that lots of people in the division probably looked at and went, wow, he's gone to Millwall, like that's good business.
Well, that's what Callum said. He watching Callum's video, he couldn't believe it, could he? You know,
I don't think, again, you can't put too much pressure on him. He's a young kid. He's not played an awful lot of football, you know, recently. And is he an upgrade on Emakhu? I think so. I think maybe end product is going to be a little bit better than him. But it's like we keep saying, we needed a couple of players in certain positions to give us those options. Neil, obviously, and by his own admission, I don't think they would have kept Emakhu if they could on deadline day. He wanted him as well as Watson. It wasn't a case of get one in to let him go. So yeah, I think he looked good. Touch of the ball looked comfortable. I think he played a little bit central at times as well, didn't he? Like coming to want the ball at a couple of occasions. So yeah, I think it's a good addition. Personally, I think he's at the moment, with the nature of who we've got in the team, he's perhaps competing with Camille Negley for a starting position, and I think it would be the wrong call to not play Negley. But yeah, good 25 minutes. Get him some minutes. I think Steve said it earlier about the goalkeeper. You can't just change your goalkeeper for 25 minutes. Like that just doesn't work. But you can introduce Watson to the first team and get him some minutes and get him used to the players that are playing around him. And I'm not being funny. If you get Watson flying on the left, Aziz flying on the right, it's an exciting prospect. It really is. And that's perhaps where we'll get to. And, you know, Negley in the 10, rotate the midfielders, players are coming back. I mean, it's just everything about us at the moment is exciting. Everything. And you just, not that you wouldn't, we do it anyway, where we win, lose or draw, but we're at Tuesday now. And you can't wait for Saturday. You just can't wait for the next game, and it's still days away, and you know it's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. It really
I love this. I love positive Stato. Don't you, Disco? How nice to hear that. Exactly.
Isn't it?
Disco, what do you make of it? I know it's very hard to sort of say too much about a player that's only been on for like 15 minutes, but what do you make of his? Have you seen enough in that short period to sort of say, you know what, he's got something about him?
Well, first and foremost, in the flesh, Joe, is he really 6'3"? That was
He does look like a bit of a unit. I wouldn't put him between the sticks, but you know, he's definitely a unit. And you know what's interesting as well?
I didn't see 6'3", but he did stand up alongside Coleman for the goal.
I would describe him as someone who's got like a boy's head on a man's body. I mean, you can see the physique. When he was warming up, his legs were like chisels, like huge, like the muscle, and you honestly you would have loved it.
Oh,
I see you going all, I see you going all
St.
St. James, going, whoa, but honestly, like you can see, like he was an athlete. Yeah, the way his physique was. You know, so his face looks very, very young, but you can see he's definitely going to be a handful for most defenders, especially once he's fit and ready. You know,
he looked like he had a little bit of presence about him, didn't he, for a very young guy, and not in a cocky. He doesn't look like a cocky, but probably confident. He does look very confident. And as you say, the little that he did do looked assured, looked quality. Excited to see more of him, not because you said he's got chiseled legs, but because he looks like he's a quality player. One thing I would say, and I know it's minor, but I was really pleased for the goal. He was right over there.
He did.
Right up with Coburn, in with the fans,
there, didn't he? Yeah.
looking like quickly. We've said it before. He's been there a week, and you imagine he's thinking, I've made the right decision here. Great set of lads.
And you know what? To add to that, Disco, it's that when Coburn scored that goal, if you watch, Tommy Watson was right up alongside him on that left-hand side.
He wanted him to pass, didn't he? Yeah.
Or look for the rebound or whatever it was. But he made that run, and he was very direct, wasn't he? Very attack-minded, which I quite liked as well.
Central, like Stato said.
Which we've seen Angelo's analysis quite often in the past. Yeah, he always used to pick out a marker for not making those runs, for not anticipating those balls in the box. But Watson, you can see the brain that he's got in him. He made that run. He was straight in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, spot on. Good spot, Joe. Yeah, you know, looks a great addition. And the great thing is we can ease him in gently. And look, forgive me if I'm wrong, Ballo didn't even come on, did he, on Saturday? I don't think he even come on, did he? So you've got him on the bench and available. As you say, Stephen, the strength in depth right now, touch wood. But it's frightening. Small Bone coming back. Somebody mentioned the dreaded Lovelace might be back at some point as well. Hey, Jesper, we might see him again one day.
One can only hope.
Yeah, apparently. Guys, we're going to end the live soon. We're probably going to be another sort of 10 minutes or so before we wrap things up. We've got to finish off by talking about the Sheffield Wednesday game. So, guys, in the chat, if you're still with us, put in there what will be your starting 11 against Sheffield Wednesday this Saturday. Good to see your comments on there. And we're going to start with yourself, Stato, this time.
Joe, sorry to butt in. Have I just seen right? 73 likes. Is that all we're on? Is that right, Stato? Have a look.
Guys, if you haven't liked yet, make sure you like, guys. 179 of you in the room at the moment.
Outrageous. Come on, team.
Come on, boys and girls.
Do us
let's give us a like. Stato, what's your thoughts on Saturday's game? Does Bannan start in your opinion, and what will be your starting lineup?
So, Bannan does start for me. I would actually, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I would change it. I wouldn't change it. Sorry, from the team that started on Saturday. However, the issue that I would have is that I think that Sheffield Wednesday are going to play a different way to what Wrexham did, and I think that might. If we think they're going to set up a different way, Neil might set up slightly differently. But I would go with the same. We won the game. I know that people say, Coburn come on and score, but we'd scored the first goal, I think, before making any changes. I believe that Bannan was still on the pitch when the first goal went in. So I don't think you change the winning side if you can help it. I know that people will say that Patterson and perhaps Bannan not against Sheffield Wednesday, and it is what it is. But go with the same team. Allow Bannan to have that little bit of freedom. Sheffield Wednesday will also know exactly what he can do, and I'm well aware of that. But it might just free up the likes of Casper and Billy, maybe to have a little bit more freedom, because they'll be so preoccupied about Bannan. And let's face it, the media is going to have a frenzy about it. They're all going to be all over him because he's going back to Sheffield Wednesday. They're going to love it as well. So it might just take a little bit of the heat off of the other players. But go with the same team, and then you've got options on the bench that are very, very tasty if needed.
Nice one. Cheers for that, Stato. Disco, how about yourself? Would you make any changes from the previous starting 11, and what would you go with?
Interesting. I think I said earlier there, I sort of suggested I didn't think that it was right for Bannan to play that game, but Stato, you've done a job on me there, and I think, I get it. Look, one thing you need is consistency, don't you? If you I know, I get what you're saying. He might change the tactics slightly for their setup versus Wrexham's, etc. But really, you need continuity in a team, don't you? And as I say, if we're going to build the Bannan in a 10 role or in a midfield 3, he's got to play, hasn't he? He's got to play with Billy and Casper to build that relationship. So actually, even with Coburn coming on and scoring a game, I'd actually go same starting 11. I don't see any reason why not. Start with injuries providing and availability. I would go same 11. And you've got great choices off the bench to make changes should you need to, and I'm not going to take Sheffield Wednesday too easily at all, and we'll come on to predictions. But look, it's a game we should and need to win, but should win. And I'd go same 11 for me.
Joe, can I just say, just on that point, and obviously I said it, Steve has now said it, and perhaps following into Jesper, but we haven't got a midweek game, obviously, next week. We haven't had a midweek game this week. So the opportunity to play the same team presents itself to, providing there's no injuries in training, which we all know, our record with that. It is going to get to a point after the Portsmouth game that we are going to play midweek and you're going to have to rotate. And that's when you see the changes and we're maybe dictated to who we're going to play against certain opposition. But for now, for this week, and certainly Portsmouth, if we get a result on Saturday, you've got the chance to have consistency, which, as Steve said, is so important at this time of the year.
Interesting point there. Jesper, coming to yourself, what will be your lineup for this Saturday? And does Bannan start against Sheffield Wednesday, in your opinion?
I was just thinking about it while Disco was talking. I think Procom actually comes out. I think this will be maybe not because he's done anything wrong, but I can see this being the game where you then put Patterson in. And again, I don't want to disrespect Sheffield Wednesday at all because this game has got banana skin written all over it, and we are Millwall. I know we are a much better team than the team that went to Wigan a few years ago, where we had to just win that game to get into the playoffs, and we lost. I think we will win. Whether we will win 1-0 or 4-0 or 2-1, I don't know. I think we'll have enough to beat them. But I can see this one being the one where I said, okay, if Patterson's going to play, it has to be sort of this game and not Ipswich away or Borough away. If he's not going to come in stone cold in one of these games. And does Bannan start? I think there's two reasons for that. I don't think he will start. I think it will take some of the heat off from the team because all of the focus is going to be in and around him. And to the point that Stephen made about they will be much focused on him, they might know him so well that they know exactly how to get in his head. They know exactly how to mark him. That this can be a distraction for our team. I just think that will be enough for Alex Neil to say, we have another player who can contribute in this game and make sure we win the game. And the third point, I think maybe the occasion for him will get to him as well when he gets up there. It's been a long time since I've seen one player being attached to one club the way that he has been with Sheffield Wednesday. I know he's a pro. I know we pay his wages and all these sorts of stuff, but we have to make sure that we go there and win that game and that we have no distractions whatsoever, if that might be Barry Bannan or something else. So I don't think he'll start Saturday.
Interesting one. Like you say,
what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, what do you think, Joe?
To Jesper's point, is the occasion going to be too much for him? I mean, you saw the way he was when he was saying goodbye to them, tears and all the rest of it, and it's like us, if we had a player leave us and then come back, a couple of weeks later to play against us, you want to beat that team so badly to show that person, they shouldn't have left or whatever what it is. So Sheffield Wednesday are going to be really up for it. It's going to be a tough game. Is he going to be on it 100%? I doubt it. He's not going to be playing out of his skin, is he? Put it that way. He's going to do what he needs to do, but I can't see.
Just
him
remember
playing.
when Jed came down to the den after he changed to to West Bromwich.
West Brom.
And we played them sort of into the season. We didn't play them just straight after. We've just signed him less than 10 days ago or two. a few weeks ago. The wounds are still fresh, you know. It's just one of them where I just feel this will be a too big of a distraction going into Saturday. It's just my personal opinion.
I agree, but equally, like Stato says, you're paying his wages. He's a Millwall player. You know, we brought him in to give us that creativity to unlock defensive. Sheffield Wednesday, I know they're going to be at home, but they're going to be still going to be hard to beat. They're going to be quite defensive. What we don't want to do is go all that way for a 0-0 draw. You know, I think if you don't play Bannan and you stick with, you know, let's say Billy and Casper, are they going to be able to find the key to unlock their defences and create chances? Where Bannan we know can do that. The difficult question is he going to be performing to the best of his ability? You like to think that he's a solid pro, he's 36 years of age. Of course he is, but we don't know what's going on in his mind, do we?
Yeah.
We don't know how he's going to play. If he's got a chance to shoot the edge of the box, is he going to go for a shot or is he going to pass it? Do you see what I mean? And that's, for me, I don't know, I just can't quite weigh up whether that's a good thing or a bad thing if we play him or not, you know?
For me, I think thinking all that through, and both have very valid arguments either way, I have to trust Alex Neil's judgment, and I think he'll be the one who'll make the decision. Well, you not think he will. He will make the decision, and I'll trust his decision. And look, if he doesn't play him, I'll understand why, and if he does, I'll understand why. So, look, insert Alex, we trust.
Yeah, no, I
got no hair, but we don't care. Alex Neil.
Exactly. Right. Predictions, guys. Let's start predictions. Don't know who wants to go first, but score predictions for Saturday. Anyone want to take the plunge and go first?
I can go. And not to be cocky, but I think we'll win 3-0. I don't know. I just think we're on a really good run. No disrespect to Sheffield Wednesday, but they are looking poor. They are down. You look at their starting 11 and you've got 8, 9 youth players in there combined with a few veterans. So this should be a game that we are even more up for than we were last Saturday, because we need to go out and prove a point that this is not going to be one of them games where we throw away 2 or 3 points sitting in top 6. We've got a few teams in the top 6 who are not playing this weekend, so we can really make a statement and even push, you know, towards, you know, 3rd and 4th and maybe 1st and 2nd as well. So yeah, I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah, cheers. Stato, come to yourself next. Guys in the chat, put your score predictions in as well. Be good to get your score predictions. Stato, how about yourself?
I'd like to come back to this about 15 minutes into the game, because I feel like if we can get an early goal, then it'll be because look, everything that Jesper said there is spot on. It should be a game that we're up for a number of reasons.
Well, we need to win,
yeah,
don't we? Yeah.
It's just the stage of the season, the fact that I believe we're the only team in the top 6 that are playing on Saturday. I think there's a game on Monday or Sunday, but on Saturday we're the only team in the top 6 that's playing. So it's another statement. It could be another statement made. It is an opportunity, and I say this with you know, putting my head to my hands, that it's an opportunity to maybe look at the goal difference. If you do get on top early and you do score an early goal, it might knock their confidence even more, and you can get on the front foot and score a couple more. But again, if you offer me 1-0 right now, I'll take it. I'm going to say 1-0 because Sheffield Wednesday they're not going to just roll over and die. Yes, it's on paper that we should have enough, but if it's any more than 1-0, absolutely delighted. But give me a 1-0, get out of there, get your points, and then move on to the next one for me.
Yeah. So just you going for 3-0, Stat, you going for 1-0. Disco.
I think you can probably guess where I'm going to go. But look, before I do, I will say seriously, look, it's a classic. We've said it already. Potential banana skin. We play better against the better sides than the lesser sides. Listen, this is a different animal now. This is a different Millwall team. It's a different manager. We're in a great position. I agree we should not take Sheffield Wednesday lightly, and I don't think Alex would allow that. But look, let's be honest, mentally, they're human beings. The players will be going there thinking, this is 3 points in the bag, you know. So they've got to apply themselves and, go about it professionally. But I really do think we've got more than enough in our locker. I'm not sure I could take another 1-0, Stephen. My bloody ticker won't be able to take it. It's hard enough watching games right now. So I'm going to go, it could quite easily be a comfortable win. Joe Edwards' first game, was it 4-0 or 4-1? 4-0.
4-1.
Remember that?
4-0.
4-0. Remember that?
Mm.
And I was there for that. And
Yeah.
listen, although we were very comfortable winners that day, actually they played quite well and should have taken the lead. So funny old
That's right,
game.
I remember.
Yeah. So, but look, I'm gonna go a 2-0. Quite comfortable, but a nice 2-0, and it'll be nice to have a comfortable win for a change without being too nervy through the whole game. But I'd like to see a good performance as well.
I agree. I much I'd love to see a 3-4, 5-0 thrashing. I just can't see it happening. You know, Sheffield Wednesday, yes, they're there to be beaten. They know the script. They're not going to be playing attacking football. They're going to be very, very tight at the back. They don't want to concede a lot of goals. They're going to lose. They don't want to embarrass themselves, do they? So I think with our players getting fitter, you know, Josh Coburn getting more minutes, he looks fitter and stronger every week. The week's rest will do us a world of good. You know, not playing since last Saturday. Bannan, not just getting more minutes, but also training more with the lads and building a bit more of a relationship and rapport with the rest of his teammates. I think it'll be a good thing. I'd like to see him start. I really would. How he's going to perform is difficult to say, but I think we've got enough in our locker to beat them, but it would be like a 2-0 win. I could see it a fairly comfortable win, but it ain't going to be like 4 or 5. Put it that way,
Also, remember, Joe, that they're coming off of the back of a 4-0 this weekend, aren't they? So they played Swansea on Sunday, I think it was.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah,
and they got back, didn't they? Yeah.
And they got again. I know everybody, and we all make the same jokes, and we've all done it. We do it all the time. Our team hasn't won for ages. Millwall rock into town, and we give them a confidence. But we always make the jokes and stuff. But I think Steve's right. It's a different animal. But they're coming in. They're not going to want to. They're at home. It's got all the potentials of a bit of a slip up. But the big thing for me on Saturday: trust Alex Neil. Trust him to get it right and get us another 3 points. And I think that's all we can do.
Absolutely, guys. If you made this far,
was it Ben the Beaver said in the comments there they've got a sellout Saturday? Is that right?
I think I read that somewhere.
Bannan?
Yeah, I guess because Bannan's there, it's an opportunity for them to see Bannan. I guess, isn't it? I know.
Because they've been empty, haven't they? Yeah.
Well, if anything, he adds to the
it's good atmosphere. Yeah,
and make it a good occasion. Are you going disco?
No, unfortunately, I do know it's one I do every year, but I shouldn't say unfortunately. I'm on granddad duties, and I'm got my and Valentine's, of course, Joe. So I've got to give my wife a lot of love and my granddaughter a lot of love as I'm looking after her. But I will be giving my lovely Millwall a lot of love from afar, watching us hopefully get 3 points. Yeah.
Nice one. Cheers, that disco. Any final words for yourself, Jesper, before we say goodbye?
Oh, just praying for 3 points.
Yeah.
As I said, I've got banana skin in my head right now. It's just all I can think about. And I don't want to be negative. And I'm try and rewind, and look at the past Millwall teams that we've had over the years. And as you all said, this is not the same sort of team we have now. We are a different animal. We can actually attack teams now and score goals as well. So fingers crossed. It's one I'm just really, really nervous for. But praying for 3 points, and then it's going to be really interesting against Portsmouth and Birmingham. Yeah, nice one. Stato, final words for yourself, mate, before we say goodbye.
Yeah, just a couple of bits from me. Alex in the chat is referencing the T20 World Cup. You can't talk about cricket when Joe's around, Alex. So we'll carry that on another time. But yes, hopefully it is a little bit more comfortable than what England managed the other day against Nepal. Back to football. You'll be pleased, Joe. I just think at the moment we're riding a wave. Alex Neil I wouldn't want anyone else in the dugout on Saturday and picking the team. Certainly from a championship perspective, the managers that are in the division, I wouldn't want anyone else there. Just for me individually, me and Ben, as I said earlier, did our January review. I believe it's coming out on Thursday. It's a little bit later than we wanted, guys, but it's a good one. Obviously, we had a great January, so it's a really, really good one. If you can watch that, that would be really, really appreciated.
On podcast now, Steve. I listened to it on the podcast this morning or this afternoon. Yeah, it's on the pod.
Chris lied to me then. Chris lied to me.
Pod. Well, it might not be on YouTube, but it's on pod. Is it pod?
That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure.
So watch it, listen to it. Listen to it on there.
Very good.
two other things,
Ben
Joe.
was
I'm sure.
outstanding.
Now Ben makes the
face that
show,
runs
mate.
the
He's the
place.
face that runs the
The
place.
face that runs the place.
I'm just a co-pilot. I'm sure you'll mention it, Joe. We've got our charity day, 6th of April, against Norwich. We've got some really, really cool stuff coming for that, guys. So please stay tuned. And from me, I don't want to give too much away, but I am also in April doing a bit of a big charity challenge. The boys here don't actually know what that is yet, so a bit of an exclusive. But details of that will come out. All I am doing is it will go to the Chat with Chaps cancer research page, but details of that will come out soon. All right, that's it from me.
Cheers, Stato. Cheers, Jesper, and cheers to you as well, Disco. Guys, if you made it this far, just to prove that you made it to the end, if you watch this back in a recording or you're watching it live, make sure you comment afterwards on the YouTube comments. Was it Disco? Is it big unit or between the sticks? What was it you say?
Yeah, big unit between the sticks. Yeah, let's go for that. Yeah, we like a big unit between the sticks.
Yeah, there you go, guys. There's your cue. But big unit between the sticks in the comments. Let's see how something get that one rolled out. See how many of you lasted this far. Listen, guys, thank you to my co-host for being on this evening. Thank you to Callum as well for joining us. Really did enjoy him coming on. Thanks to Spectrum VR for sponsoring our show. And thank you to you guys that tune in every week to watch us live or back on the recording again. And again, please make sure you like and subscribe. Everything we do for this channel goes to Cancer Research UK. So please like, and we can try and get this, get more money raised for Cancer Research UK. If you're going Saturday, I'll see you there on Saturday. I've got tickets to go. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we get 3 points on and it'll be a good win for us on a good day out. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week. See you soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.